Hello, I'm Michael Gould. Welcome to Technique Course, Lesson Number 1. We're going to talk about the difference between traditional and matched grip. With matched grip, you utilize the same technique for both hands. The right hand and left hand should look like a mirror of one another, like this. With traditional grip, we change the left hand, placing the stick between our thumb and index finger. The right hand remains the same as matched grip. The reason traditional grip came about was from marching days where they used to have a sling that went across their shoulder, and they would have to lift their left hand away from the rim of the drum. So when you marched down the street, you lifted your arm up because the drum was tilted on an angle with a sling. Before we pick up a pair of sticks, let's talk about the neutral position. The neutral position deals with your wrist and forearm. If I rest my hand on a desk or a snare drum, or I go to shake someone's hand, my wrist is neither up nor down, nor side to side. It's in the neutral position. These two axis points are important to keep in mind when we hold a pair of drumsticks or when we set up the drums. We want to make sure and break only one of these axes. So, when I go to pick up a drumstick, hold out my arm, boom, we're in the neutral position. I'm neither side to side nor up and down. When you go to set up the drums, keep the neutral position in mind. Make sure you don't set up the cymbals too high or too low, or the tom-toms too close or too far away, in which you have to combine both side-to-side movement and up and down, meaning you're going to crowd yourself too close to your body or too low or too far away. So keep the neutral position in mind. You might be able to mix both up and down and side to side, but really keep away from the extremes of either movement. Now that we've talked about the neutral position, let's move on to the match grip. Remember, with match grip, your right hand is the same as your left hand. The first point about match grip is the pivot or fulcrum point. This is between your thumb and index finger. If you hold your arm out in the neutral position, where your hand is neither up nor down nor side to side, and we place the stick in your hand, our thumb goes on the side of the stick with our index finger curled around it, like so. Remember, our 3 fingers can just rest on the stick. You don't need to grip it very tight. You can just pull it right out. It's fine. So, if I turn it over, it looks like this. Now that we have our pivot or fulcrum point established, let's figure out where to hold it on the stick. If we hold it too far up or too far back, we don't get as many bounces on the drum. So an experiment you could do is hold it all the way in the back of the stick with your pivot point or thumb on the side and index finger wrapped around, and see how many bounces you get out of the drum. Like this. Slowly move your thumb and index finger up the stick until you get as many bounces as possible. Experiment where you can find the most bounces, and this is probably the best place to keep your fulcrum point. Now that we've looked at the neutral position, or pivot or fulcrum point, let's focus our attention on the full or free rebound stroke. The free rebound stroke has 3 principal points. The fulcrum point, which we've already talked about, between our thumb and our index finger. We can think of this as a teeter-totter or seesaw going up and down. The second point is the actual motion of the stick from up or down, back into the drum, back up. I like to think of this as a fishing pole. You cast out the stick and it comes back to you. The third point is the beat of the stick. For the beat of the stick, I like to think about a tennis ball or a basketball. When we play basketball, we don't put the ball down and pick it up and put it down and pick it up and slam. We let the ball come to our hand. Bounce, 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 bounce. Those 3 points make up the full or free rebound stroke. I'm going to demonstrate a few full rebound strokes now for you. Remember, seesaw, fishing pole, basketball. Here we go. The free rebound stroke. It reminds me of something, like it was yesterday. yeah. Now that we've looked at the free rebound stroke, let's look at the downstroke. The downstroke starts up away from the drum, moves down, and you hold back the rebound of the drum. So it's basically 50% of the free rebound stroke. I'll show you. Let's try the left hand. Remember, I'm holding back the rebound after I hit the drum. If I show you what a free rebound looks like, and then a downstroke, you'll really see the difference. Here's free rebound. And here's the downstroke. Let's move on to the upstroke. The upstroke starts close to the surface of the drum, hits the drum, and then you pull away. Here's the upstroke. And the left hand. Now we've seen the full rebound stroke, the downstroke, and the upstroke. Now it's your turn to practice all three of these different types. The best way is to practice in front of a mirror so you can see what's going on with your hands and your position on the drum. All right, good luck. Now that we've looked at the three types of strokes, let's move on to the beating area, or where we place the sticks on the head. I like to think of the diameter of the beating area as about a ½ inch to an inch apart. It's about the same as the center of a CD. You can see from above that my sticks are about a ½ inch to an inch apart. I like to think about that center of the CD, or even the size of a silver dollar, to play. With my sticks about a ½ inch or an inch apart, I like to play a little off center of the drum. Now that we've talked about the beating area, let's move on to our arms, or what I like to call our wings. I try to avoid doing two extremes. The first is too far away from your body, and the second is too close. If we're too close, our grip changes, so our thumbs are on top. If it's too far away, our elbows are too far out, and it's very hard to play a really natural free rebound stroke. So just let them hang right off your shoulders. Warming up. When you first sit behind the drums, it's a good idea to do a warm-up exercise. Warming up helps provide more blood flow and oxygen to your muscles. I prefer to warm up just using the snare drum. Usually, I leave the snares off. Let's begin the warm-up by playing 5x1. We'll start at a medium dynamic and medium tempo with the right hand. We'll play each one for 4 measures. Remember to go back and play each of the 5 for about a minute. Here we go. The right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, and... Let's play the left hand for 4 measures. Remember, you can always play this for a minute or longer, and make sure you practice this on your own. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and... Let's go on to the third of the 5, which alternates between our right and left hands. Here we go. 1, and 2, and 4 bars, go, and... Let's move on to the 4th one. This one's a double stroke roll, or right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. 4 measures. Here we go. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and... Let's move on to the last of the 5x1. These are paradiddles. Remember, a paradiddle is right, left, 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 left. We're going to play 4 measures. But remember, you can play as much as you want, at least a minute. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, enjoy warming up with 5 times 1. A variation of 5 times 1 would play each of the 5 variations 1 time each. As you go through each of the 5, remember to keep playing those for at least 1 minute. I'm going to play through all 5 1 time. 1, 2, 3, go! Remember, have fun with this at a medium tempo and dynamic, and repeat them for as long as you want. By the time you're done, you should be good and warmed up. Here's a great exercise called 10 to 1 to 10. It's as much a brain exercise as it is a great warm-up. You start with 10 on your right hand, then move to 10 on your left hand, then you count down 9 on your right, 9 on your left, so forth until you get to 1. When you get down to 1, you build it back up to 10. I'm going to play it through slowly. Try and play along. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Great job! If you want, you can slow it down or speed it up. Either way, it's a great exercise for your brain and for your hands. Have fun! A variation of the warm-ups we've already done places the quarter note pulse on the bass drum. You could try playing the bass drum along with 5 times 1. I'm going to play 5 times 1 on the floor tom-tom. It doesn't provide as much rebound as a snare drum, and therefore you have to work a little bit harder. Here we go. 5 times 1, playing each of the 5 variations 1 time each. The bass drum's going to play the quarter note pulse. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. All right, have fun playing this variation and try coming up with a few of your own. See you.